Hey, welcome everybody. I'm your host, the crypto coach, Blockchain Wayne, for our FIO Fam Feature. Today we're joined by Adil. Now, Adil is doing a lot of great things when it comes to FIO and really just crypto in general. We're going to find out about that in this FIO Fam Feature. But first, let's find a little bit more about Adil. So, Adil, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, man. We're looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say how I got into crypto is actually a very funny story, and I think like a lot of people will relate. I actually heard about Bitcoin in 2011, and every time I was saying to myself, later I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin. Later I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin. So one day in 2012, I was just like in the beach in Rio, and I met like some guy from Spain, from Catalonia. He's gonna kill me if he sees this. That he was a director, and then he told me that he's going to first blog he ever wrote. He wants to be a blogger. He wants to write. Can you read it? And I was like, yeah. And I read it. I will never forget the title. The title was "No es fácil ser pionero," which means like it's not easy to be pioneer. And it was about Bitcoin. Yeah. So that was in 2012, and he said that he heard about Bitcoin 2 years ago, and then still didn't buy it, and now it's too late to buy. Like it's just like too late. I missed out on the boat, and it was just like basically, but it just like touched me, and I said, you know what, that's it. And this is like how I got into Bitcoin, like 1 year after I heard about it. Yeah, and from then I started writing for a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I was the editor-in-chief in TDV Latin America, and one of the posts, like I still like screenshotted, called "Can the Blockchain Change the World?" This was in 2014.
Wow.
And back then there was this company. Oh, I even forgot the name. You know, Suzanne Tarkowski, one of the first women ever got into Bitcoin. She had this company like Nations on the blockchain, and they registered the first wedding ever with David Wonders on the blockchain. So like with those guys. So I was thinking, like, can the blockchain change the world? So in that article, I thought that, in my life, probably we will never see social media on the blockchain or like content on the blockchain, but like I'm certain that in the future it will be. In 2016, there I am in Steam, the first social media ever publishing, like Web3. It's the original Hive. Like let's call it how it is, because now it's Hive.blog, the first ever Web3 in the history. And this is how I got started. We had the first ever book club in history with Neil Strauss, like an amazing person and author. And we had Ulysses, a book from James Joyce, which is like great for life advice in general, because it's mostly around the Odyssey from Homer, and all these lessons are like lessons of life. Anyways, very colorful life in the blockchain space. A few years now, and I love it. And now I'm in FIO, and we can talk about this in details. I'm so excited to be in FIO because it just like solves like tangible problems we have in the space. I'm gonna shut up a little bit because I speak too much.
All good stuff, man. All good stuff. That's interesting to know. I didn't know all of that about you, so it's good for us to find out those things. Luckily, you revisited it a year later after hearing about it, because for me, it was the opposite. It was probably like 2011, 2012 when I first heard about it, dismissed it, and I didn't come back till 2016. So
I would have dismissed it too if it was not by like reading that painful, like a blog, and I was like, oh man. Yeah, the funny part is like I tried to convince him that like he's not late, and then he got in 2014, and then like me, he got Mount Gox, and then he was like, should have trusted my instinct. No, crypto is like definitely amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at the title of his article, right? It's not easy being a pioneer. We've all seen that with the rocky road between your Mount Goxes, your other types of scams and projects that people had high hopes for and they failed. But there's a lot of innovation that pushed forward. I always tell people, look back at the internet, right? There was a lot of companies that didn't make it, that weren't great. We had this bubble burst, in the .com bubble burst. But look at what happened now. I mean, we're talking, I'm in Louisiana, you're in Brazil now, and we're able to have a live interview from what evolved from that technology. And it's amazing to see what's going to happen with crypto as well, as far as what that's going to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think now like the doubts are dissipating. like a financial institution all going on crypto. But this is something that like we've seen that like in the beginning of the 2000s, where like all my friends had no problems leaving their credit back then. Like you could leave your credit card to the waiter goes to another room and then like gives you back your card. So they have ample time like to copy like your credit card details and everything. So you can trust a stranger, but you can't trust an internet. Everybody has like this rejection of like using the card. And the same thing with social media. Same thing happened with the like even online dating. Like people like were resisting that, and with crypto is no difference. It was always clear that like people in the beginning they will it's just like fascinating time we are right now, because in the 2016 17 everybody was talking about like more technical stuff, which problems they solved. There was like all these ICOs that were, I'm the Uber of blockchain, I'm the Airbnb of blockchain. So like people were trying to build something. Now it's just like NFTs and dog coins. Not only that, but the space actually like there's a lot of utility, like so much utility.
Oh man, yeah. Let's not talk about the ICOs. I
No,
lost quite a bit of ETH on some of those crap ones, but man, let's jump into what you do at FIO, and you do so much, man. Let's start. Tell everybody, what is Humans of FIO. Let's start there.
So Humans of FIO is a project like we once started. It's going to be rebranded very soon because of the FIO Crypto Day, which we'll get back shortly.
Yeah,
it's just like weekly events. In to go back to the beginning, so in back in Hive, when it used to be called Steam, we had like so many communities. So we have communities in like Kuala Lumpur, communities in Borneo, communities in Indonesia, everywhere. And these communities, like they started doing meetups, and the network of Steam, the user base, like grew so much because of those meetups. And I've been personally there. I've been like to almost like all these cities, like just like to see, and it's like just like amazing energy. So COVID came. A lot of places had lockdowns. Here in South Brazil, like we never had like no lockdowns, no masks, nothing, like totally open.
nice.
And then I started like creating a community in here. And also, but it's not by accident, because Florianopolis, the city where I live in Brazil, is known as the Silicon Valley of Latin America. A lot of tech companies are moving here. Many of them like are already here. And I started making like mini meetups, and people asking me to do like bigger meetup, which we did in July 2nd, called FIO Crypto Day, which was like huge, like so many people. And the shocking revelation there, when we're in the first workshop before starting, said, hey, how many people here work in crypto? And over 65%, like they like raised their hand, and I was like, no, I didn't mean like how many are interested, how many work in crypto companies, and the same,
Wow.
And I was like, oh, and then we started networking. And when we started networking, it like grew. There's like a lot of American people like living here that work in crypto, like from Germany, Australia, from everywhere. So this is how we started that one. And now we have in December the second edition, and it seems to be a bigger one. I don't want to like reveal many secrets about that because they will be in due time. But this is like how it started. And I do a few things in FIO, like because of growth. I guess everything growth related. A little bit of business development with you guys. A little bit of how do you call them? Like writing announcements for the posts, marketing. So all of these.
Awesome. Yeah. You do a lot of. That's why I said you do a lot of things for FIO, man. It's definitely appreciated. So, tell everybody. So you mentioned the event coming up in December. What are the dates? Our date?
December 3rd.
December 3rd.
Saturday, December 3rd, and this one is gonna be. It's gonna be 3 parts. It's gonna be the workshops, and it's gonna be networking, and it's gonna be a party afterwards in the beach, because it's summer in Latin America, and like how many crypto meetups, they have a party afterwards. Some people go to yachts or something like that. This time we have like really cool event in the beach, like nice weather, and especially in December, especially for people who live in the northern hemisphere, and they come here, is like great holidays.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Those of us in the northern hemisphere that want to escape the cold can go down to the beach. So, is there a website or somewhere where you have this information about the event coming up?
We'll publish it next week. We're launching a website, and we're redesigning this. What I said, like the Instagram page, Humans of FIO, it's going to be rebranded. So yeah, this is why I didn't want to reveal it. So the entire page is going to be rebranded. Gwen is going to be working with me in rebranding the page and everything. And yeah, I'm going to have also like a podcast called "FIO Crypto." I'm joking. Maybe we should bleep this.
You're good. As long as we don't say it too much, we won't get censored. But yeah, that's great stuff. So also, just to mention, by the time this video airs, our listeners, the website's already live. So look at it below because it's going to be, there's a little gap between the time we record this to when it comes out. So you should have everything ready by then.
Hopefully it will be in the description below.
Yeah. All right. At this point, everybody watching or listening, check below. It should be there.
Yeah. And if I may mention why I'm so excited about FIO, because as I said, it solves problems like that we really need, like as we said, like before, adoption. So for adoption, like usability is like it's key, it's primordial, it's necessary. And some of the functionalities are just like wow. Like for example, the crypto handles, you can send Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche. I've seen these are all like I sent using the just like crypto handle. Like all you need, like the same way we have like in PayPal. I remember before PayPal, I used to make transfers, and I needed at least in Europe, like the IBAN. You need like in Spain, there's something called sucursal, which is like actually which branch of the bank, like you have to send it to. You know, like the name of the person you're sending it to. So like you fill up like these 4 or 5 like different things. But then with PayPal, just like with the email, like just like I send in an email. And more importantly, I love the interoperability because I really think the internet will be cross-chain. You know, like everything will be connected. It's not gonna be like only like Ethereum's gonna win. This one's gonna win. This one's gonna win. And I love like NFT signatures, for example. Like this can solve a real problem, and we're working on something exciting in that regard. But yeah, like all these problems that like blockchain is facing right now, FIO solves those, and it makes it better for the users. It makes it more fun, easier, and yeah, we have an amazing team. And since we're on the FIO Fam videos, just want to say that I'm happy to work with you all.
Awesome. Now, we're both big believers in FIO for the same reasons, right? So answer this question. Do you think that FIO is going to be the industry standard for all crypto? Like when people go to send and receive crypto 5 years from now, it's going to be the standard that everybody uses to send and receive?
Honestly, I think that we can. Absolutely. I have no doubt. Like you can never say anything like for certain, but I never had any doubt that like we can.
Right.
We can, and we have, and I've said this I think like a few times. We do have, the knowledge, the passion, the technology. I think we can.
Absolutely. And you mentioned some of the features of our protocol that do so much more than just the domain naming service that we have. Yes. as far as that, because there's other services that do that, but most of those are also just smart contracts on another chain, whereas we are a full layer 1 chain that hosts, which is why there's so much functionality, NFT signatures, FIO request, right? Being able to send a request similar to PayPal, but requesting crypto, any type of crypto from someone. It's huge.
And the blockchain agnostic part is like there is like no small advantage. This is massive. Yeah. And we've seen this something similar happen like recently. Like for example, now you can have like your .eth really not like I like the ENS team and they're doing a good job, but like I think like what if somebody wants to build on Cosmos, like Cosmos are thriving. Yeah. What if somebody wants to build in other community? What if the apps in Web5 on the Bitcoin blockchain like become successful? So like you need like a blockchain agnostic domain that you can use everywhere. And we've seen that happen with Loop. Loop was a social media platform of the Terra blockchain, yeah. But Terra, like everybody knows what happened. People got tattoos. I'm joking. we know what happened. And then Loop had to like start over and go to Juno out of the Cosmos. So for example, anything, and they launched like new NFTs, new minting. So like all of this, like could be prevented if you have blockchain agnostic domains. And this is like a big problem that like FIO solves.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So great information, Adil. You're definitely doing some great things with FIO, from marketing to biz dev to your meetups. Man, there's so much. It's gonna be exciting to see how your role evolves and grows as FIO evolves and grows as well.
Thank you very much. And just like, yeah, for the viewers here, I don't do this on my own. I have actually a twin, and we keep hiding. So every time, like one of us, I'm joking. But
I thought it was all that coffee you drank.
Yes.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us today, Adil. Any final words before we cut out?
No, I'm just saying welcome to the future.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Adil, for joining us today. Thanks, everybody, for watching another FIO Fam feature. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.